I want you to try something for me. It is a simple request, but if you truly think about it, it might terrify you. I want you to look at your own hand, hold it up in front of your face, turn it over, look at the lines on your palm, look at the texture of your skin, flex your fingers, watch how the tendons move under the surface, feel the weight of it. Now ask yourself a question. How do you know that hand is real? You might say, I can see it, but sight is just an electrical signal sent from your optic nerve to your brain. You might say, I can feel it, but touch is just a pressure sensor firing a message to your nervous system. Everything you have ever experienced, every sunset you have watched, every voice you have heard, every hand you have held, has never actually touched you. It has only touched your senses. You're not out there, in the world. You're in here, trapped inside the dark, silent vault of your own skull. Think about this isolation. Truly think about it. You have never actually met another human being. You have only met the image of them that your brain projects. You have only heard the sound of them that your ears decode. Imagine you are standing in a room with the person you love most in the world, your partner, your parent, your child. You can look into their eyes. You can see the light reflecting in their pupils. You can hear them say, I love you. But there is a glass wall between you, an invisible, impenetrable glass wall that has been there since the day you were born. You can never know, truly, with 100% certainty, what is happening behind their eyes. You assume they have a mind like yours. You assume they feel love like you do. You assume they see the color red exactly the way you see red. But what if they don't? What if behind those eyes there is nothing? What if the lights are off, but nobody is home? This is the prison of consciousness. We are all astronauts, piloting these biological ships, drifting through the void, waving at other ships through the windows, but never ever being able to open the airlock. You are alone in there. You have always been alone in there. And deep down, in the quietest hours of the night, you know. Let's extend this thought. Let's walk down a busy street in your mind. Look at the crowds. Look at the sea of faces flowing past you like a river. The businessman checking his watch. The teenager laughing at a phone screen. The old woman feeding pigeons on a bench. They look so complex, don't they? They look so detailed. They have clothes. They have expressions. They have scars. They have stories. But have you ever played a video game? In a modern video game, the world is filled with characters. They walk around, they talk, they react if you bump into them. They go to work, they go to sleep. But you know the truth about them. You know that there is no mind inside them. They are just code. They are just a series of if this, then that algorithms designed to simulate life. Now, look at the people around you again. How can you physically, scientifically prove that they are not just code? Think about how much energy it would take to create a universe where billions of people have complex inner thoughts, dreams, fears, and memories. That is a lot of processing power for the universe to handle. Wouldn't it be more efficient? Wouldn't it be easier if there was only one consciousness? Yours. What if everyone else is just a non-player character, an NPC? What if your boss at work only exists when you walk into the office? What if your friends only exist when you look at them? What if, the moment you close the door to your bedroom, the rest of the world simply stops rendering? The pixels vanish, the sound cuts off, the universe saves its energy, waiting for you to open the door again. It sounds like madness, try to disprove it. Go ahead. Ask someone, are you real? They will look at you and say, of course I am real. But isn't that exactly what a programmed character would say? Isn't that exactly what the code would tell them to answer? You can never escape this doubt. You are walking through a gallery of statues that have learned to speak. You are wandering through a hall of mirrors, and every face you see might just be a reflection of your own expectations. Maybe the reason you feel lonely is because you are the only thing that actually exists. Let's go deeper. Let's strip away the people. Let's strip away the world. Let's look at you. You believe you are sitting in a room right now. You believe you are holding a device. You believe you can feel the weight of your body against the chair. But we know, thanks to neuroscience, that all of these sensations can be faked. If a surgeon stimulates a specific part of your brain with an electrode, you will smell burnt toast. There is no toast, but the smell is real to you. If they stimulate another part, you will hear music. There's no radio, but the melody is real to you. So, let us consider the most terrifying possibility of all. What if you don't have a body? What if you don't have hands? What if you don't have eyes? Imagine a laboratory, a sterile, cold, silent room somewhere in a universe you cannot comprehend. In that room, there's a jar, and inside that jar, floating in a nutrient-rich fluid, is a brain. Your brain. There are cables attached to it. Millions of tiny microscopic wires feeding electrical signals directly into your neurons. A supercomputer is running a program called Earth2025.exe. It is feeding you the signal for rain. It is feeding you the signal for night. It is feeding you the signal for loneliness. You think you are living a life. You think you have a history. You remember your childhood. But those memories are just data files uploaded to your hard drive 5 minutes ago. You have never walked on grass. You have never seen the sun. You have never touched another human being. You have been floating in that dark jar for eternity, dreaming of a world that does not exist. And the worst part? Even if you wanted to wake up, you couldn't, because there are no eyes to open. There are no legs to move. There is only the simulation. René Descartes, the French philosopher, sat by his fire and asked this exact question hundreds of years ago. He asked, how do I know a demon isn't tricking me? He stripped away everything. He doubted his body. He doubted the world. He doubted God. He found only one single thing he could not doubt. Cogito, ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. You know you exist. That is the only truth you have. You are a thinking thing, a feeling thing. But everything else? Everything outside of your own thought? It might just be a ghost story you are telling yourself to pass the time in the void. Have you ever had the feeling, the distinct creeping sensation that you are being watched? I don't mean by a camera. I don't mean by a government, I mean by an audience. In 1998, a film called The Truman Show told the story of a man whose entire life was a constructed television set. His neighbors were actors. His wife was an extra. The sky above his head was painted canvas. It was fiction. But for thousands of people around the world, it is not a movie. It is a diagnosis. Psychiatrists call it the Truman Show Delusion. Imagine living your life with the constant suspicion that everyone around you is following a script. You walk into a coffee shop. The barista smiles at you. But did she smile because she is happy? Or did she smile because the director in her earpiece told her to? Cue the smile. Now ask him about his day. Good. Cut. You look at your friends. They seem to care about you. They ask the right questions. They laugh at your jokes. But sometimes, do you ever catch them slipping? Do you ever see a flicker of boredom in their eyes when they think you aren't looking? Do you ever feel like the conversation is too perfect, too structured, like they are feeding you lines to move the plot forward? It is a terrifying form of narcissism, to believe that the entire universe has been built just for you, that billions of dollars, millions of actors, and infinite resources are being spent just to keep you entertained or to keep you trapped. But ask yourself this: why does the world feel so centered around you? Why does the traffic always seem to stop when you're late? Why does the weather seem to match your mood? Why do coincidences happen only when you notice them? Maybe it's not a delusion. Maybe the reason you feel like the main character is because you are the only character. Maybe the reason the background characters blur into the distance is because the rendering engine is saving memory. Look at the walls of your room. Really look at them. How do you know there is anything behind them? Maybe, just beyond your peripheral vision, there are stage hands moving the furniture. Maybe, just behind that door, there's nothing but a black void and a crew of silent observers waiting for you to make your next move, waiting for the scene to end, waiting for you to sleep, so they can change the set for tomorrow. Let us move from the stage to the pillow. Every night, you perform a miracle. You lie down, you close your eyes, your breathing slows, and then, quietly, seamlessly, you build a world. In your dreams, you can fly. You can speak languages you don't know. You can meet people who have been dead for years, and while you are in the dream, you believe it, you accept it. You never stop to say, wait, this makes no sense. Why is there a giraffe in my kitchen? No, you accept the reality presented to you. You feel the fear of the nightmare. You feel the joy of the flight. It is as real as the device in your hand right now. It is only when you wake up that you say, it was just a dream. But here is the problem. The ancient Chinese philosopher Chuang Tzu dreamt he was a butterfly. He fluttered around, happy and free, doing butterfly things. He did not know he was Chuang Tzu. Then, suddenly, he woke up. He was Chuang Tzu again, solid and heavy in his bed. But he was left with a haunting question. Am I a man who dreamt of being a butterfly? Or am I a butterfly, now dreaming that I am a man? How do you know that you aren't dreaming right now? Look at the details of this moment. Is the text you are reading stable, or is it shifting? Can you remember exactly how you got here? Can you trace your steps back to the moment you were born, perfectly? Or are there gaps? Are there fade-outs, like a movie that skips scenes? There is a phenomenon called false awakening. You dream that you wake up, you get out of bed, you brush your teeth, you eat breakfast. Everything feels 100% real. And then you wake up again. You realize the breakfast was fake. The toothbrush was fake. The waking up was fake. If your mind is powerful enough to create a fake reality that fooled you once, why couldn't it fool you for a lifetime? Maybe this entire life, your job, your stress, your name, your memories, is just a very, very long dream. Maybe you are floating in a void, asleep for 1,000 years, dreaming up a complex world to keep yourself from being bored. And one day, you will die. But you won't fade to black. You will simply open your eyes. You will stretch your real limbs in a world you have forgotten. And you will say, wow, that was a strange one.
I know these thoughts are heavy. The idea that you are a brain in a jar, the idea that you are trapped in a simulation, the idea that you are the only real thing in a universe of ghosts. It sounds terrifying. It sounds like the ultimate loneliness, but I want you to look at it differently. I want you to find the peace in it. If solipsism is true, if you are the only consciousness, then you are safe, because it means there is no one to judge you. Those eyes you feel watching you, they are your own eyes. The judgments you fear, they are your own thoughts. The expectations of society, they are just rules you invented for yourself. You are not a prisoner. You are the architect. You are the god of this private universe. Every sunset you see is a painting you made for yourself. Every song you hear is a melody you composed in the silence of your own being. You are playing a game of hide and seek with yourself, hiding in the details, pretending to be small. So tonight, as you lay your head on the pillow, let go of the fear. You don't need to worry about the world out there, because there is no out there. There is only in here, and in here, it is quiet. In here, you are in control. Close the eyes of this avatar. Let the simulation rest. Let the other characters fade into the static. You have played the game well today. Rest now, lonely traveler. The universe waits for you to open your eyes again. But for now, let it dissolve.